Everyone, it's Alex and Jerry from Radd.
Yeah.
We're here today to look at something different. So this is the repaint of the Sideshow Collectibles Darkseid and
Maquette. Exclusive.
So we're going to go through this and tell you what George has changed on this and tell you why he did it. So keep watching.
Yo, like Alex was saying, we're going to be going over the Darkseid Maquette by Sideshow Collectibles. Now, don't adjust your settings, don't double check why this looks different. This has been repainted by Ian Wilkinson in the UK. When I got this piece in, I was massively devastated by the quality. I did see some unboxings and I saw Jem Mint's video and it looked fucking horrific in his video, which means if it looks really crap in his video, it's really crap. So, I opened it, I was really disappointed. It's probably one of the worst painted factory pieces I've ever seen from the big three companies, Prime One Studios, XM or Sideshow. It would never have passed any QC of either of those companies other than Sideshow Collectibles because, unfortunately, when I queried it, there is no QC. It came directly from China and there's no man from Sideshow that is over there checking their work. So, they told me I couldn't get any replacements. They told me I couldn't get anything better because that's the standard that these are painted at. So I decided to use my contacts and contact Ian Wilkinson, beg, borrow, steal, ask for favours, offer to take him out for dinner, all that kind of jazz, for him to repaint this piece for me, to which I got done. So if you have the standard Sideshow Collectibles version, it's 1,000 pieces. It comes with two heads out of the box, and it's got that really famous Cheeto hand, which I have had painted over. So that's pretty much how it comes out of the box. This hand comes off and the head comes off. Absolutely nothing else happens. There are no other sort of adjustments or things that you put on anywhere else. So it's really, really basic. But we'll go on to this and we'll talk about what we did. So the base has sort of like the fallen justice, halls of justice situation going on. And I found so many lovely hidden details in there that were just basically painted black over. I've seen all the videos and every excuse under the sun has been given for why this shoddy work looks the way it does. But the truth is it went to a cheap factory and was painted very, very badly, as was the first Darkseid that they actually released, which was horrible as well.
Jem just put a video out. This is why I stopped collecting DC.
Oh yeah, so at the start, you mean?
Apparently, no, for the old piece. Does a review of it now that says this is why I stopped collecting DC. Even though that was 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Maybe longer, maybe 3.
Longer, yeah.
It was a while ago. Better late than never, I guess. So then what I decided to do was, I sort of pronounced the lava situation. I wanted the Halls of Justice, the pillar that go on there. I found it was incredibly dark and boring, and I had a look online and looked up some reference art on it, and it actually is more of a marbled sandstone effect with some veins and things going through it. I added the gold sort of writing on the inside. I wanted it to look a little bit dirty, didn't want it to look brand new. So, we roughed it up a little bit as well. So we painted it lovely and clean with all the marble effect on it. It looked amazing. I really didn't want him to touch it, but it wasn't realistic to the scene. So we had to dirty it up a little bit. And then we added this, I found this weird sculpt in the inside, which is clearly some form of sun. Something almost looks like some sort of totem, like you take into battle or something. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wanted it to be gold and stand out a little bit, but again, look damaged and burnt, which he's done a fantastic job in doing.
But that's the thing, by having the luxury of having your painter do that, you can have these different colours.
Yeah.
What would normally happen is
that was black.
If they were to be painted in gold, it would be exactly the same colour as this, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, it was just black. I actually didn't notice. I didn't notice it was there until I unboxed the piece. On prototype pictures and everything else, it was just black. So all that detail was pretty much lost.
But there was the other part as well, like the element of all these reed bars.
Yes, they were.
And I remember seeing the kind of before and after of that, and the before was just totally non-existent.
Just grey.
But it's not just a Sideshow thing. That actually happened with the Thanos repaint he had done. When he stripped the base, he said like, you know, there's so many more skulls in this.
Yes,
place
yeah,
that,
from
you know,
XM, yeah, that's right.
Can be seen.
I mean, obviously, all the reed bars have been done and the highlighting on the rocks and stuff, so they look a little bit, probably a bit more jagged than you've seen before. It's just a very simple effect, actually, that Ian's done on that, but it makes a world of difference. You just get all them cracks and them edges just start to stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and we get on to sort of the piece itself, the suit. You know, this is sculpted by Martin Canal. I don't know if you say Canali, I don't know if that's correct.
Canali.
Is it Canali?
I think we say canal, but that's because we're English. And
English.
Yeah, I think it's canali.
Is it Canali?
I think so.
I like Canal better. I'm going to stick with that. Anyway, he sculpted this and did a fantastic job.
Well,
there is actually...
The Garrett brothers, we butchered that one for
There
years.
is a little bit of a criticism, which actually is a pretty... I think it's a pretty sound debate, which is the guards. They protect the knees, as you can see, but the foot positioning means that one of them looks slightly off. I think it's this one.
Yeah.
Looks more off, and it's sort of going to sort of one side, probably a little bit. This should probably be in ever so slightly more than it appears. It looks a little bit more awkward than maybe it should, but it's a very minor sort of critique, really, in terms of sculpting, considering what went on. I put some highlights in, and there's a lot of text. I mean, I think Ian used around, I think he said something like 18 or 19, 20, maybe 23 different types of blues that had gone into this suit. So, you know, there's a lot of depth going on in sort of the boots. There's paneling and bits and pieces done there. You know, I wanted the red sort of accents on the Omega beam, so he's got that on his hand as well. So it's under there, and it's dark. So, you know, that really should have been done. I just wanted a little bit of variation, something more unique to me, really.
There was the original idea you were going for, where you were going to have all the red kind of pinstripe going all through it.
I was. There's a sculpt
that.
line here that goes across his chest and down his body, and then goes across his serratus and obliques, and then sort of runs down. But what I found when I was looking at it, I was thinking about it, and I spoke to Mike, I spoke to Alex about it, and they were being polite with me, like, yeah, it could look good, but they weren't sold. But it gets a little bit more confusing as you go down, because there's so many lines. So I wouldn't have known where to really. I was thinking maybe just these and go down the middle.
But you could have even done that with the back of the boots as well, like there.
Yeah,
because that looks like an Amiga there.
It does. It is a sign. There's signs of that sort of all over the piece. But I found like maybe it would have been a little bit too drastic, so I decided to not do that. I decided. You know, that it might be too much for people to take. I changed the belt as well. The belt had this weird two-tone situation. There was this weird, with the production piece, this weird greying effect that was going across the bottom of
overspray,
it was well overspray. That's all it was.
Well, it looked like an overspray, but then it looked like it was purposely done. It was weird.
Really
weird.
bad.
It was like if you look at it like, oh yeah, they fucked up and oversprayed that, but then it was done on all of them.
Yeah.
So it was like it was meant to be there.
Well, the prototype didn't have it. It had a very minimal sort of like wearing on the bottom.
Production, I mean.
But I mean, also as well, none of these cracks in the inside. See where the cracks have got like a darker grey inside all the cracks? They didn't exist. So on the production piece, the cracks were there, but it was all the same colour. Everything was the same colour.
I just got to add as well, so I haven't seen.
You haven't seen
the production piece.
No.
I saw this. This is the first time I've seen
all the cracks that you see running through his arms, running through his thighs, all the way, even on his face. They were not darkened. It was all the same grey. So it looked like it'd been primed and not painted.
Yeah.
Ian said to me, it's one of the worst painted statues he's ever seen. Like in terms of effort levels, this is very, very bad. He says it's one of the worst he's ever seen. And he's actually pretty good like that. He doesn't really shit on stuff. He's like, oh, they could have done this and they could have done that, but he's pretty good. And he was just like, wow, to him, he said, it looked like it was unfinished. Like it got to a certain stage and then they forgot about it and just went, yeah, that'll be all right, and sent it out. Which was just like how it felt when I got it.
Yeah. That was also one of the problems as well, is, I mean, like, from not seeing it and listening to you half hour every week on the chat bitch about it, and looking at the pictures, it was a bit like, pictures don't look that bad. You know,
they look pretty bad, dude.
No, but they weren't like.
Have you seen a worse painted factory piece ever?
I can't tell you because I didn't see it in person.
I should have kept it just
from your pictures. There are elements of it where I was like, okay, he's bitching about this and this, but it don't look that bad from the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the
ones
orange,
in my
the orange
ones in my
hat,
room are the best pictures of it. That I took.
Well, they're the ones you sent me.
Yeah, but I also sent loads of close-up pictures of like the two-tone belt.
But
They had this weird thing with the belt where the bottom half of it was dark and the top half of it was light, and it just looked weird. I didn't really understand what that was meant to convey.
Well, it was almost like that. Well, actually, probably not as bad as, but the Apocalypse was quite bad. I remember where we were talking about how bad the original Sideshow Apocalypse was, and then you look at the actual, like on the camera, literally on the screen, and you're filming it, and you're like,
looks really good.
Oh my god! Like the overspray, You're like looking at it, going, looks really good on camera.
Yeah, it looks super clear. That's part of it. That's definitely part of it. But then, I wanted a more comic look, sort of highlighting and shading and stuff. So, he knows exactly what I was after. I was quite specific on my instructions, which actually he really prefers. I got this cape from Dynamic Menace. I actually carved it all up to make it fit the way I wanted to, because it was actually a full-size cape for a quarter-scale piece. And that actually looks great. It's got sort of the Superman sign in the hand, and his fingers are coming through the burn marks, which just look like he's basically grabbed it and it's like burned into he's like burning through it with his hand.
Did you burn it anymore, or is that?
No, that's all done by him. He did a fantastic job with that. Really good guy to deal with, straightforward, lovely guy. So can't recommend him enough. I cut more of it off so that I could put it with the Doomsday that I have. I've got some ideas for the Doomsday. I want to stick them on the spiky base bit, just bits and pieces all over the place. So, but looks great. Yeah, you've just made it look much worse by messing with it. Don't touch it. Just don't touch my stuff.
I was just looking at
touching my stuff.
The finish of the burn. It's quite cool the way it's done.
It's very, very good how he's done it.
Yeah, and the way you've got it as well, where it's all going through the fingers, is quite nice.
Yeah, it took a while to get it to where I want it, so don't touch my shit again. Yeah, okay.
OCD's a bitch.
Yeah, well, it took me ages. It took me about half an hour. You don't know, my heart rate went up to about 137. It's just like no good.
That's my resting heart.
Right, and then you get the two portraits. So we'll get on to that. I lightened these up as well so that they matched a little bit more on the belt. They were actually black. They were a weird black colour, which just, I don't know what that was really, but it didn't look like anything.
Even going onto the boots where you got the different shades of all the sections. He's really like sectioned them out, like the toe caps, the panelling, and then it goes into the darker panelling and textured panelling.
They're all one colour.
Even though you're like looking at it, and from a distance, you could be mistaken to sort of see some of these as very
slight.
Same.
Yeah.
But when you get close, there's such a slight difference to it that it's how it would be.
Yeah, exactly. There wouldn't be like vast differences, but. Yeah, I mean, and in terms, I really like the sculpt on the back of the hand as well. He's got a little bit of cocky thumb though, hasn't he? He's got cocky fingers.
It's not that one.
They all.
No, it's the one up there.
It still is. They're all
I think it was Stuart.
He's got cock fingers.
Stuart Murray sent me something, and we were talking, and he goes, "Oh, what about the dick thumb?" I'm sure it was him, and I was like, "What do you mean dick thumb?"
Yeah, it is.
And he goes, "Yeah, he's got a dick thumb." And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking?" He sent me the picture. I'm like, yeah, I can't unsee that.
Yeah, I've covered most of it with the work. But
I swear that's something to do with like the Machinist or something.
So if you don't know about Darkseid anyway,
is it the Machinist?
Darkseid character was...
I don't know why I asked Mike.
Was Jack Kirby. You shouldn't ask him any questions.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby created 1971. Forever People is the first comic appearance of him, which is actually a reasonable price considering it's the first appearance of a major character. You can get it pretty good.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I know the other character.
Doomsday you can. Doomsday's cheap, but I mean, he's 92 and there's an overprint.
Did you get Doomsday in the end? You're always talking about getting one.
No, I haven't got it.
Okay.
May do. And this is the sort of portrait. This is the exclusive portrait. This is the one that actually shows...
Horrible colour.
Yeah. But this is the one that captures that sort of, Jack Kirby's vision of this character. And this is probably the main sell from Sideshow that people love so much is this portrait. And rightly so. Sculpted very, very well. Captured really, really great with the brow and everything else.
I wonder though, like, as an artist, and you spend, like, obviously Manga now, and it's not, I mean, I know people say this is Manga now, the sculpt, whatever else. Obviously, there's been a lot of other people involved
in the art direction
along the way, and to kind of like spend 1,000 hours or 5 whatever many hours on that, you know what you've done, you know the level that you've done it to, and then when it goes to the factory and comes out in hand, and you hear the critique, I wonder how much you think.
You'd be pissed.
Oh my god! Or the other hand is, well, this is my side of it.
Yeah.
And they fucked it up, so it's not my fault.
No, it isn't.
I know a lot of artists will then go, okay, here my Instagram, here's all my sculpts, so you can see
with no paint.
Like, because that actually happened with that's how I met Jonathan. He basically sculpted Jonathan Riley. He sculpted the Liu Kang.
Yeah.
And the original image of Liu Kang in New York Comic Con, it's actually really good. The original
I've heard this before.
And then he sent me all of the original sculpts of that, and I was just like, that actually looks really nice.
Yeah.
And then you see the production, and then obviously like that's you being put in the limelight for a wrong reason, because I bashed Liu Kang to fuck.
Well,
so,
you would, it's a very bad production of a piece.
So I'm just trying to figure out.
It's painted better than this.
The artist's point, no.
It's painted better than this.
The artist's perspective on how they feel about it coming out so badly.
Yeah, I'm sure that he was devastated. Look, the best part about this, not only am I happy, but the best part is actually Martin Canal was very, happy with this.
Yeah.
He said he loves it. He said, I did it justice. I did a good job. And that, to me, that's worth it. People will copy it now. I've seen like a few people repainting, copying the ideas. They went one way and then my stuff started coming out and they completely changed theirs. But, that's the thing. When you share something on a public forum, that's what it's there for. If you like it and you're inspired by it and you want to use some of the ideas that I have, my creative process, by all means, help yourself. It's not going to upset me.
No.
That's the whole point. If I was going to do that, I just wouldn't share it. I'd just keep it for myself. But that's how it goes. He liked it, and that's the main thing. So then, obviously, you get the exclusive portrait.
Can I see it in my hand first? Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, they are heavy. The piece is really heavy.
It's heavy, but
the piece is heavy.
It's a bit offset, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's heavy towards the bottom to make sure it doesn't like to come off. Like it?
Yeah. No, they're different enough as well. So you got like the kind of, are they pink? Pinky red?
They're red, yeah.
Okay, so because it's a metallic.
It's a metallic red.
Yeah, so you got like that on one, and then the yellow white on the other.
Yeah.
Right. The cheap done really well, and then the bleeding of the kind of fire coming through on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice, really nice.
Well, I wanted some variation when I did when I had the idea for the sort of like in the cracks. There's a picture of Darkseid where his eyes, like around the eyes and cheeks, all illuminated.
Only thing I don't, it's different about the chin guard as well.
Yeah, the mask, the thing. If you look as well, the chin's in a different place. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one of them's out of the mask and the other one's in the mask.
This one goes more with the suit there.
It does, yeah. It's got more designs around the back.
There's a bit of like a sculpt floor on his chin there, a bit. Like, it just looks like a bit's been stuck on.
Yeah, that definitely does on the top of the chin part. Yeah. But, it depends on your design, the sort of design that you're after, that you like. But, this is quite drastically different and I really like it. My idea was like that, and Ian perfected exactly what I wanted. And that's my favourite part about working with Ian Wilkinson. It's not just the finished article, but it's the process.
Yeah.
I enjoy our conversations. We talk.
He's a nice guy, very nice guy.
We go through things, and he's not afraid to say to me, "I'm not sure about this," or "I'm not sure about that."
Do you think though that the Cheeto hand could have worked if you'd covered it with this?
It would work. It would be a lot better. The only problem is that the Cheeto goes all up the fingers.
Yeah.
And it's a bit. Mine looked mouldy, like green. So it's like orange in the centre of his palm, and it radiated out a little bit red, and then around the fingers it started to go like a greeny yellow. And it is a weird thing. I will never understand the art direction on that hand. And you can turn around and say that it's a reflection. You're full of shit. That's a really bad fucking idea. Whatever.
Murray said he originally had a power where he could do something with his hand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so
he told us that.
Yeah, Stuart said that was an original power, but he doesn't use it very often.
Yes,
and it's an old power.
Yes,
that's what he said. But
yeah, well, I would trust him more than some of the review crap I heard, which was utter shit. Like
the reflection of his eyes.
What's he wearing? Like Michael Jackson's mirror glove.
The reflection of his eyes in his hand.
What? You'd like sitting there. You're like, what fucking sheep watch your channel that's going to buy into that? It doesn't make any sense at all.
No, but I'm just saying because of the way it's melted through, you could have had the glow.
It wouldn't have looked terrible with that on there like that.
Yeah,
it would have looked better. So I mean, a lot of people had the idea. My first idea was to use this, which was what Ian made for me, which was the mother box. This is the mother box of men.
Yeah.
And it does actually fit in the hand. I mean, Ian said to me that it looked very much like the hand was designed to hold something. He
Well,
said
that-
it
that's
looks,
not
it
the
looks
first time.
like it's going to hold
That's
something.
not the first time. If you talk about Loki,
Yeah.
Loki looks like he should be holding a cube, and there's other ones as well.
Yeah, I'm
There's
sure
a
there
few
is.
other ones
Maybe
where-
it didn't get past licensing.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
the idea was that and it didn't get past. I wanted
Why-
a little nod to the Snyder Cut because
So why do you
that's one of
think,
my favourite comic book films ever. So,
Why do you think the hand comes off then? Do you think they were maybe having a fist originally?
I
and
don't
stuff
know.
like that?
I'm not sure. You would have thought so, wouldn't you? Maybe breakages
Yeah,
though. It could
yeah.
just be breakages.
One of the
Sticking
ones,
out like that.
one of the
is
ones I
dangerous.
found recently, actually, I just remembered recently. I knew before was the original Punisher premium format. In the box, it has a space for another head.
Yes.
And he used to have a battle damage, like beaten up head.
Yeah, they
with that,
stopped
they took
again.
away.
Maybe licensing
Yeah.
later stopped that as a little bit. The one thing I would say about this piece, which you haven't noticed, which I'm surprised because you've got a good eye, it's got a weird lean from one angle, and it's this angle I'm looking at, which I hate. So from here, it's okay, right? From there, it looks majestic, stunning, beautiful. But as you start to get to this angle, which they can see probably from now, it looks like he's like doing this.
Yeah.
Have a look from there. You see it?
Oh yeah, he's
It's
almost
really pronounced like lean on it.
It's almost like he's kind of.
It's about to fall the
like-
fuck over.
he's like that,
He's about
and
to smooth criminals.
It's like he's kind of stretching his back, you know.
He's like real arched up, but it's
kind of just like. No, that's solid.
yeah, it's not going anywhere because it's got like a massive peg and a big base, and it's very heavy. I mean, the figure is massive. Like in terms of thickness, and you know, it is like 90% of this piece is a figure. It's impressive, but it's got a weird, like there's an angle. I had it in my display, and I could see it as I walked in my room. I was like, I need to fucking adjust that.
I think I did mention it on the photos.
It does look a little bit like it goes from one position. It does. I mean, it's right there now as I'm looking at it. It's like that.
But to be honest with you, I don't think since we've been seeing it that I've had it that way.
No,
So
you
that's
haven't.
why.
It's been more towards me.
Yeah. So like, no, I think Ian's done a fantastic job. I think the separation of what, the breaking up, and especially where one of the ones I do remember is these shoulder parts were blue, weren't they?
Yeah.
And that was a bit weird. But
Shoulder parts were like black.
black, yeah.
It's like a black colour.
But I mean the shade in there. It just goes to show you though that and we do see some artists out there who do some fantastic repaints. There are some amazing people out there, and it just goes to show that what is underneath that paint sometimes. If you know someone who can do the paint, it can really transform a piece.
Oh, definitely.
Really can.
And the great thing about Ian is he's not one of these guys who want to charge you $1,000 to repaint something.
Yeah.
He's
Like
a very,
some-
very reasonable guy. I can't tell you the prices because it's not fair. And to be honest with you, if I did tell you how much he charges, I'd never be able to get a repaint done again because he'd be so busy, it would be a joke.
Yeah.
But it's a fraction of those costs. Some of the people come back to me.
Well,
they're getting quotes $700 to $1,000.
That guy who was doing really bad work was sending stuff to Ian.
Yes.
And then charging
Right Guy
people.
2.
Right Guy 2 was
Yeah,
sending
Right Guy 2, yeah.
repaints to Ian
To do.
and then charging people like 3 times the price,
Yeah.
paying Ian whatever,
Yeah.
and then taking the money. And he was
Yeah.
doing that because
I'm
he
sure
couldn't
he
match the
would.
paint on that stuff.
Scum cunt he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was doing that.
So
But yeah, I mean, if you are interested and you are in the UK or Europe, I mean, even the US, to be honest, it would be cheaper for you to send your shit to Ian and have it sent back than getting someone paint your stuff
Probably.
over there. But he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah,
so
but
thank you
can
very
you,
much, Ian. Really appreciate it, man.
to tone it down a little bit, I might want to get some stuff repainted soon. I'm not gonna really-
Better get on it. But anyway, thanks for. I know, obviously, I didn't put this on, but I just sort of like sit it on the base. Really, that's what I do with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not like that.
All right.
I basically put it in the corner, like sort of like sitting like that. It sort of sits up.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, and let me know what you think about it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a jewel of my collection, so I'm really pleased. So comment, like, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already.
Ring my bell.
Thanks very much for the support. God bless you all. Peace.
Mad love.